Hello, lovely people. I'm here with a sketchbook tour for you this time. I finally finished my sketchbook, and I thought I'd share it with you all. Now, this sketchbook is my 14th sketchbook that I've finished over the years since I started in like 2009. And if you'd like to see some older sketchbooks, I would consider making a video of that. But let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see. Now, I will warn you in advance, this video is going to be mostly unedited because I don't have the energy to edit very much. So if that's not your thing, maybe try and find a different video to watch. But with all that said, let's begin. I started this sketchbook on March 29th of 2023, and I only just finished it a few days ago. So this is the first piece. I tried to draw a mermaid, and I attempted to do hair for maybe not the first time, but one of the few times that I tried to draw hair on my figures. I think it came out okay. Don't really have much to say about this page. I tried to incorporate color as much as I could into this sketchbook because I always like it better when my sketchbooks have a lot of color, but there's an awful lot of black and white in here too. I wanted to work a little bit on some character art, which I haven't done in a while, and I decided to design my own Little Mermaid character. And some funky plants. This is a page that I tried the shape challenge. It's not really a challenge, but you do blobs of color in one medium or another, and then you find shapes within the blobs. And I think that was a really fun thing. And since it bled over to the next page, I decided to do it again on the reverse side. Now, this page I don't particularly like. I really don't like this dragon thing that I did over in the side here. I do like this sketch, though. I do want to do something with this someday. Did some weird figures and a little bit of Pokemon fan art, since I apparently went down the rabbit hole of Pokemon again at that point. Now, this spread I really do love. I really like how confident my lines were. I do wish that I had integrated some color into this, and maybe someday I will, but I really like how it looks, and I kind of don't want to mess it up. Another page of plants and things. I feel like there's a lot of plants in this sketchbook. This is another page that I like, mostly just because it's simple. And I really like how this nest came out. I tend to shy away from drawing things that have overlapping details, but this came out really nice, I think. Some weird dancing fish people. I thought that was a fun little exercise that I did. And some more color. I think all of these were images that I had scraped from previous sketchbooks and decided to work on a little bit more. There's also a lot of that in this sketchbook. These were little sketches for a commission from a friend from work. And if I can find a picture of the finished piece, if I still have one, I'll put it up on the screen now. But the concept was two figures with TVs as their heads trying to communicate without words. And that was a fun commission to work on. Did a little bit more thinking about how I wanted to do the TV head guys. And a poor little guy who has stubbed his toe. Okay, here is where I started the 100 heads challenge, and spoiler alert, I only got a little less than halfway through, and then I gave up, which is why I didn't make a video about it. I think I did start filming a few of these, but since I didn't finish, I felt like the video would probably just not work. But I am happy with the ones, well, mostly happy with the ones that I was able to get out. I think I really like this one. The expression was just so fun and so interesting. And this is the end of where I got to. I got to number 47, and I chose all of my own references. I didn't use the official 100 Heads Pinterest board. I figured if I was going to do this challenge, I might as well choose images that really spoke to me. And yeah, this is as far as I got. I don't know how well this page is going, or this spread is going to come on camera. But I looked at the Adorka stock DeviantArt for a bunch of pose references, and I filled in the rest of the pages that I had set aside for the 100 Heads challenge and did some pose studies from Adorka stock and also this Juke Pub stock person. They also had a lot of really good references. I'll try and link both of those in the description if I remember, because they both have very, very good pose references. And I got tired of doing pose references and I decided to do some fun sketching. I really like this curled match and this melting candle in the hollow face there. I think those were really fun. And then these are all sort of redoodled from old sketchbooks, so I sort of don't forget the concepts. There's a lot of really fun things in here that I someday want to get to, but we'll see how that goes. Some more old sketches. I think mostly I did this little exercise so I wouldn't forget any of these, because I don't always look back through my old sketchbooks, and I don't have all my old sketchbooks with me. Most of them are at my parents' house. And one more little doodle of the TV heads, because I skipped a bunch of pages for the 100 Heads challenge and continued on this page. But then I had some cute little bee-related ideas. Although this one's a little morbid, but I still like it. Not much to say about this spread. Although I do like that I attempted some drawing from life. It's my Nintendo Switch. Doesn't look much like the real thing, but still life is not my strong suit, so I think it came out okay. I really like these little scissors. I think those came out nicely. Some more light sketches over here. And I remember this day was a day that I was tabling at a market, and I just had to draw out the anxiety a little bit. And this page, I bought the DVD set of Princess Tutu, which is an anime that I'd never seen before, but I'd heard really great things about. And I liked it enough to do a couple little doodles in my sketchbook. I think if you're an anime fan, you should definitely check it out. It's better than the title would suggest. All right, and then I think we are into October, or getting into Inktober. territory here. I always start in the months before October, so I have a chance to do some groundwork before the actual month. And I don't think I got all the way through this year. Maybe I did. I'll try and put a couple of finished Inktobers on the screen so you can see what came of some of these concepts. And I think I made my own word list as well, if I remember correctly. So this isn't the official Inktober thing. I don't do that anymore. Some more concepts for the October Ink Challenge and some other little fun concepts that I hope to return to. Okay, I think this might be the last of the Inktober prep. Then I decided to work on some characters with insect wings. I thought that was really fun. This little sketch right here was a revisit of an older piece that I did called Imminence, which I'll put another picture of on the screen for you. And I wanted to revisit it a little with some more advanced posing, I think. And some cute little cloud guys. I really like these. Oh, and apparently I lied. There are some more Inktober-y things here. Don't have a lot to say about some of these pages because they're just doodles. But this was an attempt at trying to draw a slightly more realistic face without a reference, and I don't know, I guess it was kind of successful, but I still have a long ways to go with realism. This is an idea that I want to come back to. I wanted to do a piece based on, is it kintsugi? It's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery and things with gold. Um, I'll have to look up the actual term because I think it's kintsugi, but I'm probably wrong about that. But I really liked the idea and I wanted to implement it into one of my figures. These were just some fun little, I wanted to draw horses, but I did not feel confident drawing their back legs for some reason. So they have human and fish hind parts. This is also something that I want to come back to. I wanted to draw the de-evolution of a safety pin or something similar. And I have this started somewhere in my works in progress box. I'll have to dig that out again and see if I can finish it. This was another attempt at a character design. No references for the drop spindle at all until here, so that looked kind of wonky. But I like the idea. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it, but it's fun to get back to character art sometimes. This was another a Dorcas-Doc reference that I decided to add some color to. Finally, a colorful page. I decided to look up references for sand dunes and do some really, really colorful images based on that. And I like them. They don't all read particularly well as sand dunes, but I had a lot of fun doing them. And then this was a concept that I wanted to try and do something with like violin strings or viola strings or something like that. I haven't quite figured out how I want to go about this concept, but maybe someday. And some more revisitation of older ideas. I think I might make this a regular thing in my sketchbooks to remind myself of older concepts. Sorry if you can hear the noise outside the window. It is garbage day. Some more old concepts that I really like. It's funny that I can't seem to paint these days because I have so many old ideas that I can fall back on. Apologies again for the garbage truck noises if you can hear that. I remember once I did a figure wearing a feather cloak, and this was a continuation of that concept. I really want to paint that again because I think the original painting of that has long since sold. This was a bird that I found in a book of my friends. It was a book of birds, and I flipped through randomly and I came across this Hose's broadbill, and I love the way that bird is shaped. I'll try and if I can find one, I'll try and put a royalty-free picture of one up, but this is basically what it looks like. These were images from some of my older sketchbooks. The ones that I have back at my parents' place. I think I did this over Christmas break, I believe. Yeah, because there's the first day of 2024, starting off strong. I really like this little vignette here. I really wanna paint this one someday. Revisiting some old characters from previous sketchbooks. Feels like I almost have a story in mind for these guys, but it's still got a ways to go. So we'll see if anything comes of that. I really like these little fish here. This was a fun page with the little frog coin purses and the fish and the lantern and everything. And here I did something that I haven't done in a while, and I reintroduced ink to my sketchbook. I find drawing in straight in ink is really helpful to me. It forces me to be more confident with my lines and be okay with any mistakes that I make, even though they do have a tendency to smudge slightly. This one I actually did a little watercolor study of, and again, I'll try and put an image of the finished thing up on the screen for you on this. But that one's a fun one to do. This one was a full page of doodles. I think I just went with different themes, mushrooms and plants and amphibians and food. And yeah, I think I'm happy with this spread. On this page, I decided I wanted to do something with lace gloves because I really liked the idea of a dark dark background, dark figure with the standout white lace gloves. And I eventually did do a piece that I'll put on the screen for you guys. There's some more figuring out the color scheme that I wanted and some ideas for what I could do with the patterning for the lace. Some dancing bugs. And me trying to figure out the pose that I wanted for the lace gloves piece. I think I ended up going with something a lot simpler than these. I really like these doodles down here. And here was me trying to work through some issues that I have. I'd like to start making vlogs, but I figure I have some hurdles to get over before I can start making them. But this was me just trying to work out what could be done about the different problems that I see that I have. I really like this page of doodles. I think the pages that I like always have more confident line art, even if the finished doodle is not something that I want to do anything with. I think the confidence in the lines is what draws me to pages that I like. And this one, I don't know if you can see the silver on the page. I'll try and move that around so you can see, but I wanted to do something with gold and silver, and I got as far as the silver at least with the sketch, but I still want to do something with that. And here we're entering a big plant section of the sketchbook. I am slightly obsessed with Codex plants, which are the fat-bottomed plants that are just, they're so cool. And I started drawing a bunch of different ones, ones that I would love to own someday if I ever have the room for them. But there's all sorts of really cool ones. There's Philanthus mirabilis, there's the sea onion, Boea volubilis, I think. There's Dioscorea mexicana, Dioscorea discolor. I'll try not to geek out too much about the Codex plants on this, but I had a lot of fun sketching out these different ones because there's so many more than I thought there were. Then I decided to do some more surreal things in here. This is a concept that I'm still working through. I still want to do something with this rainbow through the head idea. Some more figures with hair. I think I'm getting a little better at adding hair to my characters, but there's still a ways I need to go on that, I think. I think I do want to make stickers out of these guys. I think those were really fun. I just have to figure out coloring now. Some riffs on the idea of having butterflies in your stomach. Still want to do something with this. Sorry if I'm being like repetitive. I feel like I'm saying I want to do something with this a lot, but there's a lot of ideas in here that I really want to flesh out further. Oh, this was fun. On the 5th of March, it looks like I saw Dune Part 2, or the 4th of March, rather. And that was really fun. I took myself out on a little artist date, as this is when I was still doing the artist's way. And that was my artist date for the week. This was a sticker that I got from a friend that I accidentally sent through the wash, and amazingly, the sticker itself was fine. It was just the sticky back that was gone. This one is by A. Ziggles, are a Ziggy's, and I love that angry toad with the pink cowboy hat. It's very fun. It makes me smile every time I see it. This guy I actually turned into a sticker, and that was fun to do. I did it in watercolors and scanned it and got it off to the sticker makers, and I really love that sticker. This was a fun concept that I ran with a little bit with the staghorn ferns on the characters' faces. And that's another one that I did a full painting of that I'll put on the screen for you guys. And this concept I really, really like, but I feel like it's going to take me a long time to do because of all the little details with the fishes. More little doodles. Another attempt at hair, which, varying degrees of success there, I think. This guy I also turned into a sticker. That was fun to do. I feel like I really like making stickers, but I haven't done it in a little while. This was a piece that came from an older sketchbook again, and it's still something that I really want to flesh out and make a big painting of. Just the anxiety of what if people can hear my thoughts. And even more older ideas revisited. And finally, some new stuff. I like this idea of the window prism with the colorful figures. I have to do some more thought work on that one, but it's one that I really am excited to work on. And I discovered that tardigrades exist, and I just had to draw some little cute water bears. I really like these ideas for the wonky plants. And I think I want to do these in gouache, but I think I need to get some more gouache paints because mine are all many years old and several of them have gone quite rancid. So once I get some new gouache, maybe I'll work on those again. Sometimes I like to put little shopping lists for art supplies in my sketchbooks. And I think I've gotten all of these since May when I wrote this down. Some colorful fishes. This one is one of my favorite fish, the oarfish. And another shopping list. I haven't worked on this one yet, but I'd really like to get some pencils with the colored lead and see if that makes my sketchbooks pop a little bit more. And I also wanted to do a piece based on the line from the Beatles song of wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the door. That line always stuck with me even when I was little. And I wanted to try and do something with that. And I think we all have the emotional support paint water jar that we will not get rid of because it works perfectly fine, even though it's crusted in paint and horrible looking. And here's another attempt at drawing from life, although I did get very impatient with the little speaker holes, so those didn't come out quite as nice as I had hoped, but figure if I keep plugging away at it, someday I'll be good at the drawing from life thing. This was work for another commission. They wanted me to do a character from a video game. And some more black and white sketches. This one I really want to do someday. If I can figure out how to draw hair knots properly and have them really look like knots. This one is always also one that I want to revisit. I like the general concept, though I have to work on the composition a little bit. I think I like this spread. There's a lot of fun ideas in this one. This one is a revisit of an older sketch that I did that I still want to do. And this one I really like, the one with the thistles. Those were fun to draw. This is another concept that I think could be really, really fun to work on, but still have to do some thinking on that one. And here's another attempt at the faces in the jar. And some very weird doodles over on this side. I feel like these pages get a little less coherent the further along we go in this sketchbook. And some little artist rants about not having the motivation to be creative. I think we all get that way eventually. All right, and that is the end of the sketchbook. So I started this on, what was it? March 29th of 2023, and I finished it November 19th of this year. So it took me well over a year, almost 2 years to finish this sketchbook. Sketchbook number 14. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed sharing it with you, and I hope you don't find this less edited style of video too distracting. I tend to just vomit my thoughts. So I hope that was enjoyable for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.